He's Brazilian. He only cost a loan and an obligation to buy for 40 million. We think he's fucking brilliant, slightly injury prone. Richarlison.
Brilliant. What do you think of that then?
Well, look, listen. Me and you had this debate, was it yesterday or the video before? And we said, I'll be more than happy signing Richarlison as long as it is a loan.
Yeah, I think it's the only way Everton are going to do some sort of business with Tottenham to get Richie back. Tottenham are asking for 35 to 40 million. I did say the other day, Everton don't pay that for Richarlison. He has had a lot of injuries since he left Everton. And I did say as well, I think the last season he was at Everton, he played through the pain barrier quite a bit to get us over the line, to keep us up and not get relegated. He run through brick walls that season for us before he left to go to Tottenham. I think that season's probably helped towards the injuries that he's had since he signed for Spurs. He is fit at the minute, whether he's match fit or not, but he's not injured. I agree with you. It's a loan deal with an obligation to buy if he hits so many targets, so many appearances. And I'll be happy to see Richie back because we know what we get with Richie. A fit Richarlison, mate, lifts the whole. A fit Richarlison lifts the whole of Everton. He gives the players around him a lift, and he also gets bums off seats. He lifts the crowd. But again, it's got to be on Everton's terms, this loan, obligation to buy, hit certain criteria, certain targets, then we can go back to Tottenham and talk figures.
Yeah. I mean, when we were actually linked and it come up, I'm not going to say there wasn't a smile on my face. Do you get what I mean? Like that's you've just mentioned about getting bums off seats. He makes you smile just from being him, and he loves the club. He's never hid the fact he loves the club, and we all know he gave 110% to Everton when we were fighting to stay up in the league. We know he did. We know he left with a heavy heart. We also know that he probably didn't actually want to be sold. So, for me, I do think it's almost a no-brainer. The only thing I'm going to say is you hope that you're getting a Richarlison that is going to do something. He's going to be that. Because even on a loan, if he's sitting on an injury table as a loan, when there's so many players that we need to get in and out and whatever, it is a waste of a loan. So I'd love him to come back, but I'd love to not be worried about his injuries. Do you get what I'm saying?
I think the Everton Richarlison is a massive love-in. Everton love him. The fans love Richie. Richie loves Everton, as you're quite right with what you say. He took to the club. He'd run through a brick wall for this football club, Michael. We know that. Because of the injuries he's had, you're spot on with what you say. The medical that he has, if he comes back to Everton, has got to be one of the strongest, the most stringent medicals Everton have ever done. Because, listen, Richarlison won't want to come back here and be laid up in the treatment room for the majority of the loan deal, because that will hurt him, that will affect him. He wants to come back here and play week in and week out. Everton's medical staff have got to make sure he's in the right shape for the benefit of the football club, but also for the benefit of Richie, because nothing will hurt him more if he's laid up in that treatment room week in, week out, not helping the lads on the pitch. So it's got to be the right move, and it's got to be, as I say, a really, really stringent medical to make sure that the injuries are behind him and he's not going to have as many injuries as he had. It's got to be spot on. This deal's got to be done properly. Probably one of the most solid deals Everton have done in recent years. This has got to be done properly. Otherwise, it won't work for him and it won't work for us. It's a waste of a loan deal.
Yeah, you're spot on. And the other thing I want to mention is the fact that with Richarlison, and you've got to compare him against what we've got. Whether rightly or wrongly, we've got to do that. The one thing I'm going to say about Richarlison, if you can hear the dog in the background, I apologise. Dinner's just come. I'm having a Chinese tonight, everyone. Oh, yeah. I've looked at the stats for Beto and Richarlison. I've looked at them. I've analysed them. I've dug down into them. And there's some key stats that I just wanted to mention. We will get into the preview, people, but there's just a couple of key stats that I wanted to mention. So this is based on just this season, right? Now, we know Richarlison has not played a lot of football. He's made 13 appearances for Spurs. Beto has made 27 appearances. How many goals do you think Richarlison scored in those 13 appearances?
4.
Yeah, spot on. How many goals do you think Beto's scored in those 27 Premier League appearances?
Was it 8 or 9?
7.
Yeah.
Richarlison also has an assist. In terms of his goals per minute, and this is the key stat for me. Richarlison's goals per minute is a goal every 119 minutes. What's Beto's, John?
1 every 220 minutes. I don't know.
189 minutes. That's a huge difference over 30 games. That's the difference between a striker that will get you 8 goals, 9 goals a season, and a striker that will get you 15, 16 goals a season. That's the difference. So you get Richarlison fit, he's a better striker, better player, better outlet than Beto is.
But the thing with Richarlison, mate, not just a striker. We know he can play on the left. He played a lot of his football when he was at Everton on the left, but he also gives you that option to go up front. And I can, with them stats you've just put out there, I think of Richarlison at Everton this season, probably we finished probably 2, possibly 3 places higher with just a Richarlison at Everton this season. You know, if he would have only played the same amount of games. So it's a big difference in league position from what the stats you've given with Beto and the stats you've given with Richarlison. You know, it's a no-brainer for me, barring his injury records, if you see what I'm saying. It's a no-brainer if we can keep Richarlison fit, because, you know, there's something there between this football club and Richarlison, and he loves it, as you say. You know, every now and again he'll put something on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, like a memory from Everton. You know, I think he done one the other week, and I think that's what opened people's eyes. Is he going to come back? I think he put a little short video on of him when he played for Everton. So, again, it's come from Rob Dorsey, who works for Sky, quite a reputable, you know, journo or whatever you want to call him. I do think it has legs. But again, I will reiterate, the deal's got to be done right, because we can't afford to be bringing players in and having them in the treatment room when we need as many players as what we do. Yeah, agreed. And the last comparison I'm going to give you, because obviously we need to do this as well, because we do have another striker in the name of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So Richie's goals per minute is 119, which is very good. Okay, it's a very good stat. What's Calvert-Lewin's? I think it's probably a worse stat than Beto's. How much worse? Well, quite a lot worse. I mean, how many's Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored this season for a start? Do you know what I mean? It's a big difference. You're probably looking at the figure to give you for Beto, 220? 532. Wow. There you go. I mean, and people want Dominic Calvert-Lewin to stay. What is it? 1 goal in every 6.5 games, 7 games. I'm sorry. Well, if it's 1 goal in 7 games, that's where you get your stat from. The average is 8 goals a season, is it? It's less than that. He scored 3 goals. He's made 23 appearances and scored 3 goals this season. In comparison, Richarlison's made 13 appearances and a lot less minutes, because some of those were substitute appearances, and scored 4 goals. If you're throwing stats at us like that, you know, people in the comments will go, yeah, well, you know what? Richarlison's a no-brainer. And it is a no-brainer, but I keep going back to it. It's the injury record that he's got from last season. But when you look at goals per game, goals per minutes, if you could keep Richarlison fit under a David Moyes, who, don't get me wrong, I think of Richarlison the David Moyes type player. I really do. I think David Moyes will get even more out of Richarlison what the likes of, you know, the managers he's played under at Everton, and the more than what the manager's getting out of him now. If he stays at Tottenham, you know, Tottenham would be linked with the lap. They've got Solanke there, they've got Son there. He's not going to get much game time at Tottenham, whether he's fit all season. So for me, it's a no-brainer, as I keep saying. Come back to Everton on the right terms and see what he can do next season. Please come home, Richie.
Yeah, spot on. Right, guys, look, let's talk about the game. Not that, I mean, it sounds awful, but it's almost nice not being too arsed about football matches, if I'm being honest. Now, don't get me wrong, we need to still get results because, you know, if Everton finish 14th in the league, 13th in the league, that difference between 17th and 14th probably pays a loan fee, which is probably Richarlison. So that's how you need to think about it. It's going to cost about £5 million on loan. So, Fulham away. Tough place, inconsistent. Looks like they're losing the manager. Nothing to play for by all accounts. What's your thoughts?
Well, we've seen Fulham. They've had a good season, you know, and they have tailed off a bit towards the end of it. Doesn't look like they have got much to play for. And this is two teams where, realistically, they've both got their flip-flops on, ready to go on the beach. You've got Fulham, who have been quite inconsistent lately. But you've also got Everton, who are coming off a second-half performance that was absolutely shocking against a team that's already been relegated. So I don't know what this game is. I don't know where this game goes. And I'll give me prediction now. I think it's going to be a 0-0. I think it's going to be a boring 0-0 with two teams, absolutely nothing to play for. There's talk Marco Silva's going to go to Saudi Arabia. Are the players going to carry on performing for him? Because I think Marco Silva's got a lot of respect to Fulham from the players for the job he's done. And he's built a good team there. Now, if your manager looks like he's going to up sticks, talks for a new contract for Marco Silva have stalled, are they going to want to play for him? But then you've got this Everton team who, from the second half performance last week, looked like they weren't asked. So I think it's got 0-0 written all over it.
Yeah, Fulham are so weird because even if you look at their form chart, you know, 5 games ago they beat Liverpool 3-2.
Yeah.
And yet, you know, they're scraping pretty poor performances against teams like Southampton away. So, yeah, I mean, we've not been great. Our form over the last 10 games is poor as well, if I'm being honest. It's 1 win in 10, 6 draws, 3 defeats. It's poor. Both teams looking bang average. Fulham do have an outside chance of Europe, but they need to probably win every game. So they've probably got more to play for than we have. But that's clearly not enough to keep their manager there. It's clearly not enough to you know, for their players to
perform for them.
Yeah, you know, to perform. It's almost like they're not incentivized, and that surprises me with a Marco Silva side, if I'm being honest, because we've seen it when he was at Everton, and I think we lost 1 game in 10 towards the end of one of his seasons, and then we let him down in the summer window by signing Iwobinia, which turned into Iwob stick in the bin. You know, it was just poor. And this Fulham side, you know, they come to Goodison Park this season. Me and you were both there. They were 1-0 up until very late. And we managed to get an equaliser, if I remember correctly. And it was a poor game of football. It was a really dog shit performance. Beto pulled us out the mud literally last minute. So I don't know. I'm on the fence about this game. I think you're right. I think it's got draw written all over it. But John, if I'm being honest, with these players, the performance in the second half against Ipswich wouldn't surprise me if we lost. And that sounds awful, but it wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me if we lost, but then on the flip side of that, when we're talking about Fulham and the very inconsistent, if this Everton team that turns up against Arsenal and got a draw and put a good performance in against Liverpool, if that Everton team turns up, then the situation Fulham are in with the manager and the outside chance of Europe, but they're probably, as you said, they've got to win every game, and other teams around them have got to lose. I just think it's probably not a happy ship at Fulham at the minute with everything that's going on with the manager. So if the Everton team turn up, who played against Arsenal, done well, and give Liverpool a game twice this season, then Everton may scrape a victory. They may do, but Everton are inconsistent as well, and we've seen that last week. We'd started okay against Ipswich. I thought it'd be an easy game last week for Everton. But then you look at the second half performance, and that takes me back to, I'm not sure what Everton are going to turn up.
No, I don't trust Everton to.
I don't trust this squad. I don't trust this squad of players, mate. I think the majority of this squad is a gang of shithouses with the wrong attitude towards the club, and I'm sick of seeing Everton Football Club, unless we've had a relegation fight on our hands going to the last 2 games every season, then I can go back to when we played Man City the last game of the season. I think they beat us 5-2. Everton don't try in the last couple of games if they're safe. And for me, that's a mentality thing, because as you said at the beginning of the preview, every place in the Premier League means more money. But obviously it doesn't matter to this gang of shithouse players that we've got, because they're not asked where we finish as long as they don't get relegated. As soon as they know they're safe, they've got their holiday boots, they've got their suitcase packed, they've got their sandals on ready for the beach, and they don't give a shit. And that's what pisses me off about this current Everton squad. Going back to the video that we spoke about the other night, we need to start bringing winners in who will play from the first whistle of the first game of the new season till the final whistle in the last game, and show us that it means a lot to them to carry on getting results from the first game to the last game. And there's only about 2 or 3 players in this squad who we can actually say would do that, because the rest of them are inept. They lack attitude. They're not bothered where they finish, and they're already thinking of the holidays. And that's what pisses me off about this current squad. So I can't see Everton winning, but I can't see Fulham winning because what's going on there. And that's why I think it's going to be a boring 0-0 draw, an end of season affair.
Just in terms of your team, what do you do? Do you make many changes?
I think Alcaraz starts again. I think you've got to give Ndiaye minutes, to see if he can pick up a bit of form from now to the end of the season. Give him a bit of confidence back, because I think it's clear Ndiaye's lacked confidence since come back from the injury. I'll start Chimiti. We need to see more of Chimiti. Obviously, your defence is the same. Jake O'Brien. Tarkowski's out, so you're looking at... Well, Jake O'Brien has to go in the middle, doesn't he? Jake O'Brien, Jarrett Branthwaite. I actually think he starts Seamus Coleman at right back and Michaelenko left back. Midfield picks itself. I think McNeil's got to start playing again. I think he should play from now till the end of the season as many minutes as he can to get his fitness back, because he chipped in with a goal last week and he looked dangerous cutting in off the right. And I think when you've got someone like McNeil coming in like that, give Chimiti a go to see what he can do with a player like McNeil cutting in, because the other wingers we've got at the club aren't really very good, are they?
Yeah, I start Chimiti in this game. And the only reason that I think that Chimiti wouldn't start this game is that he wants to play Beto to see if he can get more money for him. Your issue is Beto is a saleable asset, not particularly worth a lot of millions one, but he is a saleable asset, and there is clubs linked with him. Certainly Leeds want him. By all accounts, Leeds absolutely want him, but they will only pay £15 million for him. Now, if I'm being honest, as a second striker to someone like a Liam Delap, for 15 million, I actually might consider keeping Better, because he has actually, if you actually break down his stats, he's actually scored 11 goals in 32 games this season.
Yeah.
So it's not actually. It's not
bearing in mind, though, 5 of them were 5 games on the run, I think.
And 2 of them were against teams in the Carabao Cup lower division. Yeah, so, there is caveats to it, but I don't know. 15 million quid.
I don't think Everton sell him for 15 million. If rumours are to be believed, I think Everton want close enough to what they paid for him, which was what, 30 million quid. You're not getting 30 million pound for Beto.
I think 20 is the middle
Yeah,
ground.
at the most, you're looking at 20, 23 million at a push. 23. I think 20 million. If someone offers 20 million for Beto, I think Everton say yes, thank you, he's your man.
Yeah,
But
and then you get in your car. I put the fuel in, and we drive him to Leeds.
Yeah, we do.
Shake his hand, wish him well, good attitude. We'll see you soon.
And I bring a big Willie back with me.
Brilliant, absolutely tremendous. Willie Nonto, is that what you're saying? I get what you're saying now. You know, it took so long for me to work out. I was thinking, what player is he on about? But yeah, I get it, Willie Nonto. They have got a sell to buy, actually. So I mean, there is that possibility. There's also apparently David Moyes is very interested in keeping Jack Harrison.
Well, he's the only one who's fucking very interested then, because I'm certainly not.
Nor am I. So cool, right?
Yeah, being linked with a left back today. Just a quick one. What was his name again?
I think it's Christensen from Leicester.
Leicester, and there's another one from another one I sent you.
I'm checking. I'm fucking checking. Yeah, so Victor Christensen. He impressed me when we played him.
He's had a good season.
He's one of their standout defenders, and this is the thing that this is where David Moyes. It does benefit having a David Moyes type manager because he does get better out of people.
Yeah.
The problem is, I do think it always tarnishes people when they've been relegated, and I'm just a bit on the fence about it. But he's had a decent season. Yeah. I quite like him from what I've seen. Don't know.
Who's the other fella?
The other player is Jerome Opoku, and I know nothing about him. I know nothing about him. All I know is that he would probably be a fourth choice centre half, and for £4 million, as long as he's better than Michael Keane, I can probably live with that.
Could be another Joseph Yobo.
Mate, what a player he was. What a player he was. He had a mistake in him.
He did, but mate, I love Joey Yobo. Absolutely. Met him a few times. Top fella. But you know what? He was one of them players that you take to because he did have a mistake in him. Don't get me wrong, but he give his all. He absolutely give his all.
Yeah. And mate, this guy, by the way, this Opoku is an absolute beast. Like he's got a tattoo on his neck here. I mean, you wouldn't go anywhere near him because he looks strong, physical. He looks like he's quick. He does actually have some English football experience. He actually played at Fulham. He was in there. He captained their under-23s. So he does know the English league. Let's see. I mean, he also scores goals as a centre half. He scores goals. I mean, this season he's got 2 goals. He got 4 goals last season. I ain't against it.
Sign him up. 4 million quid.
Sign him. I'm all over it. All over it. So yeah, look, we will leave it there. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I haven't got nothing else to add. Obviously, you've heard more about the festivities at Goodison, and it does look like a commemorative shirt is being released tomorrow, which is in Cambridge blue. So we will.
I'm going all the way to fucking Cambridge to pick an Everton shirt up.
I know, but you're going to be interested to see the colour if you don't know what Cambridge blue is.
Have you got a picture of it?
I haven't got a picture of it, but I've got a picture of the.
Your nan.
It's tremendous.
will Google Cambridge Blue. It's not the kit
I'm
we seen
showing
the other night,
everyone
is it?
now. I'm showing them. Shut up.
Is it the kit we seen the other night?
No, you can't. No.
Blue.
It is that colour.
It's a bit light, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a similar colour to the sky in our background here.
Well, it's a bit light. How much are they going to be banging that out for?
God knows, but just think, in the next 2 days, you're going to be buying a seat for 90 quid and a shirt for 90 quid.
I'm not buying a seat for the simple fact of the matter. You only get the arse bit. You're not even getting the back bit. And talking about the women playing at Goodison. So, do you know all these people who've paid over the odds for the ticket because it's the last game? Yeah, it is the last game for the men. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm on with this women moving to Goodison, mate. Once I've gone. That's it. I don't get it, mate. I just don't get it.
Some people, there was a couple of people actually that did write in the comments on X saying that they would rather go to the last game and watch Goodison get bulldozed after, knowing it was a final goodbye, than almost be strung along being able to walk past Goodison every day.
Mate, I'll be driving past it every day. I've said me goodbyes. I've probably shed a few tears next week, and I'm still going to drive past it for years to come because the Birds are going to be playing there. Don't get it.
It actually doesn't. It doesn't actually give you closure because you actually don't know if that's going to be the last game ever played at Goodison. If you get what I mean, like you're not going to know.
Doesn't look like it is because, according to some very good sources, Everton are very close to doing a deal. The only benefit I hope we get out of it is we do what Chelsea done when they sold the women's team. And then that's how they got round PSR and give them some more money. I hope that's what Everton are looking at. Sell Goodison to the girls team. Because that's what Chelsea done. And that's how they got round PSR, just like they sold the hotel to another owner who's in the consortium who owns Chelsea. So maybe that's the freaking thinking. If that's the case, fair enough. But again, a week Sunday, if the women are going to be playing there, it's not closure for me, but I won't go back. Once I've gone, I've gone.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think it's really important. I'm glad you've spoke about the ladies team. Yet again, Everton went to Anfield last weekend and the ladies won yet again. I think that's four visits, 4 wins, and no goals conceded against Liverpool. So taking gender out of it, boy, girl, whatever, that is fantastic from Everton ladies. So well done, girls. Proud of you. Love that. Absolutely love it. I just wish the lads team was half decent and could do it. But ladies, well done, you.
I'll play the women against the Liverpool men's team next season. Fuck them because we don't beat them there. So I'll just play the Birds over there. Run round with the tops up like that to put them off. Go 1-0.
Honest to God. Right, guys, note that come from John, not me. All right. I just any of the stick, give it to him. All right, him, because he's a donut. He's an absolute donut. So, right, look, we will see you soon. Hit the like and subscribe. I'm gonna go and with John's wife, and I'll see you soon. Peace.